Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Rapichas here, and today ended Grand Swiss 2021. So we have two candidates, Alireza Firouzja and Fabiano Caruana. They were seeded first and third, and Aronian didn't qualify. He didn't have a good tournament, but it's known that Aronian is not really well at playing lower-rated opponents. I'd say like that. This instinct of killer he might have against the top players, but not at this circle. So before the last round, basically Firouzja had 7.5, and two players were at 7 points. So no one actually could catch them, and important that Fabiano also had excellent tiebreak odds, so he just destined to qualify. He was playing white pieces, and Alexander Pratka, Russian grandmaster, maybe you haven't heard of him. He was playing black, and he just couldn't imagine playing for a win. And quite quickly, Firouzja and Oparin drew the game, and Fabiano, so he also had if he draws, then he's qualified. So actually, I think first 10 boards drawn their games, and I will show you today the game which was not, which was also drawn, but it was just so cool, so crazy that we will look at it anyway. And this is the candidates. This is candidates for the 2022 World Championships. Magnus or Nepomniachtchi, Radjabov, Duda, Karyakin, and now these two players. So another top two finishers from Grand Prix 2022. I think that these players who are top 8 will qualify for this Grand Prix, and including Sjugirov, who said that he didn't know that he will qualify for it wasn't obviously his intention to play in this Grand Prix, but I don't know. So among other players who will play in this Grand Prix, I think Aronian, Grishuk, Mamidyarov definitely, Wesley So Giri, some of them will qualify for this last two places. Alright, so I think pretty good tournament, and let's see this final game. So Sjugirov, he's player from Kalmykia, Elista, and he's pretty young, in his 20s. So he plays white. And Vitiugov, Nikita, his nickname is Iceman, but I'd say that he also has nerves. So he had this. He lost to, I think, Wesley So in semi-finals of World Cup, having an extra piece in Armageddon. It was totally crazy game. Bishop b5, knight f6, bishop e7. So if now white plays c3, black will respond with martial counterattack. Castles. So in this position, c3 leads to this martial counterattack, and this is anti-martial. Another move which is constantly played is a4, d3, knight a5, c5. Black takes the center. Unfortunately, I don't have experience in this kind of positions. I kind of skipped Ruy-Lopez's in my life, played different kind of openings. But this position is quite good. Rook e8, h6, preventing bishop to g5, pinning the knight. d4. It all has been played hundreds of times. Sjugirov doesn't take on d4 and bishop b7. So now black managed to create tension against the pawn. Very important. I think black has equalized at this point. Knight c4, knight d5, bishop b2. So white decided to place it on the b file, on this long diagonal. Queen d2, queen b6, and this position already ancient says that black is a little bit better. Yeah, they have good king, this outpost for the knight, and you cannot play f4. We will see it later in the game because the king is it's illegal, yeah, to play f4. So g6, a bit controversial move, but here black changed the plan. Yeah, they kind of you cannot say this, but at this point pieces are set like it's black who will have an attack against the white king. So knight e3, h5. I like this plan. Now normally this is actually a very good bishop. Yeah, it can go to g7, but h6 is even more ambitious. Queen d8. Again, this queen can go to h4, for instance, yeah, and join the attack. Then with the queen, it's much more dangerous. h4 and bishop h6. So now definitely black has advantage. White don't have a lot of counterplay. They don't have weaknesses. They need to develop the rook, but not that they have a direct attacking object. Yeah, this d6 pawn could be attacked with the rook and queen, but I don't know, it easily defensible for black. Bishop f4 and knight h5, defending the h7, and again this bishop will move somewhere, will capture one of the pieces, and then knight will join the attack from the f4. And important, of course, to move queen. So black attacks like in King's Indian defense, some positions. Queen g5, b4. This is a good move. I think white needs to find a good square for this bishop because it's attacked and queen is overworked. But from b3 it will create this tension against the black. So good defense by Sjugirov. Captured. Bishop g3. So ancient says that after queen e3 white actually doesn't lose an exchange, because after queen takes, it's rook takes e3, and the position is after takes, yeah, white takes, and the black is better, but white has some chances to save themselves. So knight f4, I like this move, of course, because when you don't have in every game this a lot of pieces against your opponent's king and your queen near, so I mean it's ridiculous to exchange queens. Okay, so knight g3. Actually Sjugirov took on g3, and it was a mistake. I was saying about queen e3 and queen d2, knight f4, and queen to h3. I'm saying that black, I mean, this position could be resignable, yeah, for black. It says -4, but the attack is normally, just in practical chess, it's impossible to defend, yeah, that this beautiful knight pawn here, and king is semi-cut off, and this rook here pins this pawn. So, but Sjugirov defended, he played g5. If you take here, then it's bishop e3 and no check available straight away, so he didn't take, he played here. Then the idea is that if check here, it's bishop g1. The engine says black is almost winning, but how to continue, yeah. So he looked for something else, queen h4 and rook c3 with the same idea, yeah. If queen takes, then it's check, and yeah, mate in 2, and if bishop takes, then it's mate in 1. So you cannot capture, and kind of black threatens bishop rook f3, but Sjugirov found an excellent resource. He took here and took the rook, so he destroyed this terrible very dangerous bishop, and he has some compensation. Still black is winning. Nikita took d5, kind of opening up the game. I think at this point Nikita was sure that he's winning, but rook h1 and threatening mate in 1. Yeah, when white has this threat, and they're definitely still in the game. So let's see what happened next. Bishop c6, engine says that it's a mistake. King f7, king runs to center, and look how well coordinated these pieces are, and this d5 at every point can be taken, and so black is winning. Rook d1, so this was so already white is winning. I think this was the move I would consider, because if you go here, then rook h7, and if you defend, then yeah, angel says that like something rook f7 and another rook infiltrates. So he didn't find that. He played rook d1 and f5. Again, beautiful move. Everything's hanging, just crazy position. But if we take, for instance, in king d6, discovered check, and white plays here, and bishop d7. Yeah, then kind of for time being, black king found some custody, and you can just attack him. And if black plays, white takes this pawn, then again black is winning after queen e3. It's checkmate in a couple of moves. Yeah, so absolutely crazy, and you don't know who attacks who. Bishop d2 is the best move. Queen d8, queen d6. Just everything's hanging. So I would lose this position with every side I would be playing. f4. Rook f7 defending, e3. Again, engine shows that black is winning. I don't really see how, but they just consider that this king here is safe. Yeah, but there is a lot of ideas for white that they will find a way, and in this position, kind of this is blunder for 15 pawns. Yeah, king h8, king h5, and after king to f3, it says that like black's king is mating net, but the variations are just totally crazy. They repeat it a couple of times, and bishop takes the pawn, which again is a mistake. The most logical check takes here. I think white should have thought that they might be winning at this point. Check, and queen c4. Can you imagine that you defend with the queen, you give up the queen, which is captured with the check, yeah, and still it's not a win, yeah. White has 2 extra pieces at this point, a check, and they still, the position is drawn, yeah. Takes, and both pieces are attacked. Takes here, check, and king e2, so it says that it's totally equal, yeah. White cannot go to f3 because e2 is coming, and so they started to repeat the moves, and it's a draw. So very exciting draw, I think, an exciting tournament. It didn't have this drama for the last round, which everyone expected, just because Firuza and Caruana had a lot of odds, and there was not basically a third person who could have at least equal amount of points with them, yeah. And Peretke didn't have, and Elparin had terrible draw, so that's how it ended. But many players consider that it's a very good result for chess, that for this Grand Chess Tour, this Grand Swiss. Managed to qualify 2 best players, and in the last Grand Swiss qualified Van Hau and Alexeyenko, and Caruana also would qualify, but he, as a loser to World Championship match, was admitted to the candidates. So good result, good tournament. Thank you for the organizers, and hope that we'll see a lot of exciting games in nearest future. All right, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.